Hi, everybody. Let's get started with some yoga. Today, it would be helpful if you had a blanket and if you have access to either a block, a yoga block is great. If you don't have that, a big book works. I always like to say something like Harry Potter would be perfect because it's nice and thick. And then get yourself set up in a seated position on your floor, on your chair, whatever you have set up on the ground here. So if you've got like a blanket, go ahead and grab it. You are welcome to start at a chair too. Same movements will apply, you just won't be on the ground. And then when we come to hands and knees, you'll just move the chair away. It's all accessible, so do what is best for your body right now. Once you find your seat, roll your shoulders up, back, and down, and close your eyes. We'll begin the practice as we begin every practice with tuning into the breath. Notice whether it's fast or slow, whether it's smooth or choppy. And start to tune into the physical aspects of your breath. On your inhales, your belly and your chest expand. And exhales, your torso softens. As you're tuning into your breath, start to scan your body. Notice how you're feeling today. Notice if you're holding on to tension anywhere and see if you can let it go. Allow yourself to be nice and grounded from the hips on down and tall and light from the hips up. Soften the space between your eyebrows. Unclench your jaw, wiggle it side to side. And drop your tongue from the roof of your mouth. We'll take a few more rounds of breath, just settling into your space, settling into your body and mind, noticing what it feels like right now. We'll use this as a comparison later in the practice. But this is a sort of exercise you can do anytime, anywhere throughout the day. Just take a few moments to close your eyes and breathe. It's the perfect opportunity to check in with yourself. One more full inhale. Complete exhale. And blink your eyes open, coming back into the room and into your space. Notice how you're feeling now with your eyes open. Take a moment, check in. And we'll start to move. On an inhale, reach your arms up, get nice and tall. Exhale, fold forward. So your hands will come to the floor. They can come to whatever you're using for a block. So a book is great. If you're on a chair, you could just lean over. The hands might come to your shins. They might come to the floor. They might stay on your thighs. Doesn't matter. Let your head and your neck be heavy. And focus on those big breaths in and out. Take one more inhale. Walk your hands in about halfway. And then you're going to frame your right knee. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold over that right knee. You can take your arms long here. And once again, let your head and your neck be heavy. Take one more inhale. Exhale, walk your hands back in, then through center and over to frame your left knee. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, go ahead and drape over that left knee. Arms can go long here. Head and neck are heavy. Take one more inhale. Exhale, walk your hands back in, back through center, and then come up to your tall spine. Inhale, reach your arms up again. Exhale, bend at the elbows. Draw your shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend at the elbows. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend at the elbows. This time, reach up. And you're going to twist to the right. So your left hand will come to your right knee, right hand next to you or behind you. Spine lifts here, get nice and tall. And your torso will spiral to the right. It might not go very far, and that's okay. What's more important is the nice lift in your spine. One more inhale. Exhale, ring your arms back up through center. And then exhale to the opposite side. Right hand outside left knee, left hand next to you or behind you. Spine nice and tall. Take one more inhale. Exhale, come back to center. We'll do some shoulder rolls. On an inhale, roll your shoulders up, back and down. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back and down. One more time. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back and down. We'll do the opposite. This time, inhale, back and up. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, forward and down. One more time. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, forward and down. Drop your chin toward your chest and then roll your right ear over toward your right shoulder. Stretching out the left side of your neck. Smooth, steady breath here. Take one more inhale. Exhale, you're going to bring your chin toward your right collarbone. Your gaze will be toward your right shoulder. So stretch out the back left side of your neck. Roll that right ear back toward your right shoulder and chin falls down toward your chest. Pause here for a moment. Next, inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Stretches for the right side of your neck. Next, inhale, bring your chin toward your left collarbone, gaze toward your left shoulder. Bring your left ear back toward your left shoulder and your chin back down toward your chest. Once again, pause here. Take your palms to your forehead, forehead to your palms, and you're going to apply equal pressure both ways. Press your palm into your forehead, forehead into your palms. So create some traction in the back of your neck. Release the tension of your head into your hands, and then use your palms to gently bring your head back to the top of your spine. Release your arms and pause for a moment here. Once again, notice how you're feeling. And from here, we're going to come to a kneeling position. So this is where a blanket can be really helpful. Before we get to hands and knees and move a little bit, bring the blanket under your knees. And if it's comfortable, you can sit back toward your heels. If that's not comfortable, you can stay on your hands. We're going to do a little bit of wrist movement here. So bring your wrists in front of you, fingers spread nice and wide. What we're going to do first is take that right hand and flip it. So your fingers are going to face toward your body. And this will be a stretch for your wrist. The more forward you lean, the more pressure there is. Don't go too far here. Listen to what your body has to say. One more inhale, exhale, go ahead, return your right hand back to face forward. And we'll do the left hand. So left fingers come toward you, wrist away. And once again, choose how deep you want to go here, how much pressure that you need this morning. And know that each side might be different. Your left wrist might like a little bit more structure, stress on it, might prefer a little bit less. One more inhale, exhale, release. And we'll do one more set of stretches each side. You're going to bring the back of your palm down on the right hand, fingers toward you. And once again, you can adjust how much pressure you apply here. One more inhale, exhale, release. And we'll do the opposite side, back of your left palm to the floor. Adjust how much pressure you're applying appropriately. And continue to breathe. One more inhale, exhale, release. And then I'm going to have you sit back and just circle your wrists here. Go one way and then the other. If it feels good, you can shake them out. Could be a lot of pressure on the wrist, particularly if you spend a lot of time at a desk, at a keyboard. Stretching your wrists the opposite direction can be really helpful, but it can also feel a little bit tricky. When you're ready, you're going to make your way to hands and knees in a tabletop. And again, a blanket could be helpful here. Give you a little extra cushioning underneath your knees. Hips will be over your knees, shoulders over your wrists. You want your hands spread nice and wide, fingers taking up a lot of space here. And then your index fingers are going to be parallel to one another. Tuck your toes or leave them untucked, whichever feels better. And then we're going to move a bit. On an inhale, lower your belly, lift your chin and your tail. This cow pose. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin and your tail, really press the mat away from you. Cat pose. Inhale to cow. Feel how long the front of your body is. And notice the compression in the back body. Exhale, round your spine, opposite this time. Lengthen the back body, compression in the front body. One more time, inhale to cow. Exhale, round your spine to cat. Come back to your neutral tabletop. And you're going to send your right foot out to the right. Toes will be in line with your left knee. Left hand will stay on the ground, right arm reaches up toward the sky. Inhale here. We'll hold for a couple rounds of breath and we'll do a little bit of movement. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, you're going to thread this right arm under your left and just allow that arm to hover. And we'll switch back and forth. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, thread and hover. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, thread and hover. One more time, reach up. Exhale, hover, and we'll hold for 3, 2, 1, and then come back to your tabletop. Right hand comes down to the floor, right knee beneath your right hip. This time, send your left toes out to the left, toes in line with that right knee. Right hand stays on the ground, left arm reaches up. Inhale, we'll hold here for a couple rounds of breath. One more inhale. Exhale, thread that left arm beneath the right and hover. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, thread and hover. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, thread and hover. Last time, reach up. Exhale, thread and hover, and we'll hold for 3, 2, 1. Come back to your tabletop. So again, hips over your knees, shoulders over your wrists. You're gonna take your big toes to touch, your knees out wide, and then you're gonna slide your hips back toward your heels and walk your hands forward, taking child's pose. Forehead might come to the floor. If you've got a book or a block, you can bring your forehead to that, or you can make stacked fists here. Allow yourself to reconnect with your breath. Wherever you're at, keep your lower body exactly as it is. Come up onto your fingertips. And then you're going to slide that right arm beneath your left, just like we did in that previous set of movements. And then drop your right ear toward your right shoulder, maybe to the floor. We're adding a little bit of a shoulder stretch to child's pose here. Come back to center, up on your fingertips. This time, left arm slides under the right. Bring your left ear down to your left shoulder, maybe the mat. And once again, continue to breathe. One more inhale, exhale, come back to your child's pose. And then you're going to make your way back to tabletop. And this is where if you've got a block or a book handy, go ahead and grab it. If you don't have one, that's fine. What you're going to do is you're going to step your left foot forward. We're going to come into a low lunge. So your hands can stay on either side of your leg. If you've got your prop, you can bring your hands inside that. What's most important is that your knee doesn't go past your ankle here, but does walk that foot forward. So you could stay here. This is awesome. If you'd like, you can bring your hands up to that left thigh, or maybe you can sweep your arms up overhead. Wherever you're at, continue to breathe. Then we're going to take this into a side bend. So your left hand will come to your left hip, right arm will reach up, and then you're going to lean to the left. So same side of the bent knee. Take one more inhale, exhale, come back to center, whether your arms are up or on the ground. And then we'll all meet with our hands on the ground. And we'll switch legs. So send your left leg back, you're back in tabletop. This time, right foot steps forward. And once again, check in with the knee. Make sure that it's not going past your ankle. You can stay with your hands on the ground. You can bring your hands to the block here. Or you can bring your hands up to your right thigh. Maybe sweep them forward and up. Bring your right hand to your right hip, left arm stays long, and then lean over to your right. Notice where you feel that there's a lot going on in this pose. Could be feeling a lot of different sensations in different parts of your body, but just notice. Inhale, reach both arms up, or go ahead and lower them down. We'll all meet with our hands back on the ground, and then return to tabletop. Tuck your toes here, and then walk your hands back. You can keep your hands on the ground. You can bring them up to your thighs. You can sit all the way back on your heels. We're doing a foot stretch here. So choose the depth of stretch that you need. Leaning more forward with your hands on the ground will be a little less intense. Being all the way back on your heels will be a little bit more intense. We'll take a few rounds of breath here. Take one more inhale. Wherever you're at, bring your hands back down to the floor and come back to your tabletop. Tap the tops of your feet. We're going to tuck the toes again. Check in with your hands, fingers spread nice and wide. Index fingers parallel. And then you're going to send your hips up and back. Knees can stay bent here. Heels can be off the ground. What's most important is your head and your neck are heavy. This is downward dog. We'll be here just a couple rounds of breath. If you'd like, you can pedal your legs out. You can shift your hips side to side. Or if there's any other movement that feels good right now, go ahead and take it. Come back to stillness if you're moving. Look forward between your hands, and then start to walk your feet up toward your hands. It's okay if they don't make it. Wherever you're at, bend your knees and allow your head, your neck, your spine, and your arms to dangle. If you'd like, you can cross opposite arms, maybe sway side to side. You've also got the option, if you've got a block or a book, you can bring your hands to that. Couple more rounds of breath. Come back to stillness. Release your arms if you've clasped them, and on an inhale, come halfway up. So your palms will come to your shins. Your back will be flat. Exhale, release. We'll do that again. Inhale, come halfway up, flat back. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, reach your arms out and up, get nice and tall. And exhale, hands to heart center. So we're going to combine all those poses into half sun salutations. So warm the body up, get the heart rate going a little bit. When you're ready, bring your hands to heart center. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, press your palms together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up with your flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. That's one round. We'll continue to do a couple more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do one more round. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Go ahead and release your arms and take a moment to look down at your feet. Lift up all of your toes and then see if you can sit them down one at a time. From here, bring your weight into the front of your feet. Bring your weight into the back of your feet. Then come right to center. Lean a little bit to your left. Lean a little bit to your right. Then once again, come right back to center. Release your arms if you've got them at your hips. Fingertips will reach toward the ground. And go ahead and close your eyes here. We're going to start to engage all the muscles in our body. But first, notice that connection between your feet and the ground. Nice and strong, nice and stable. Then you're going to draw that energy upward. So engage your calf muscles. Engage your kneecaps. Engage your thighs. Draw your navel toward your spine. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. And then actively reach those fingertips toward the ground. This is mountain pose. Feel the strength in your body, matched with the ease and softness of your breath. Mountain pose is the template for all of our standing poses, so you want to cultivate this same kind of energy where everything's engaged, but it's really easy to breathe. Throughout yoga and even more broadly, when you notice that your breath starts to get choppy or a little bit challenged, that's a sign to step back, check in. Maybe you need to back off the gas pedal a bit. Maybe you just need to pause. Take one more inhale here. Full exhale, and go ahead and release. We're going to take our feet out wide. And general rule of thumb, if you took your arms out and snapped your wrist down, that's a good starting place. You might choose to go wider or shorter as we start to move a little bit. Let's start here. Bring your hands to your hips. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, lead with your sternum. You're going to fold forward. You can bend your knees here. And then bring your hands down to the floor, whatever prop you're using. You're going to come halfway up. Exhale, go ahead and release all the way down into your fold. Let your head and your neck be heavy. Next inhale, come halfway up, flat back. Bend your knees, bring your hands to your hips, and come all the way back up to standing. You're going to turn your right foot so that the heel of that right foot is in line with the arch of your left. Bend into that right knee. And then this is where you'll figure out if you need to take a wider or shorter stance. You want this right knee to go no further than your right ankle. If it's going past it, scoot that foot out of it. Once you feel stable in the legs, make sure that your knee doesn't block your view of your big toe. You want it to go outward. And then once you're set, send both arms out long. Gaze over your right middle finger, warrior two. Find that strength in all the muscles in your body, as well as that ease in your breath. From here, drop that left arm, flip your right palm so it faces the sky, and then reach up. This is reverse warrior. Bring your arms parallel to the floor. One more time, warrior two. One more inhale, exhale, release your arms, straighten that right leg, and then turn your toes so that they're parallel with your left leg again. Pause here for a moment. And then we'll do the other side. You're gonna turn your left heel so that it's in line with the arch of your right foot. Bend into that left knee, check in with the knee. Take your stance a little wider if you need to. And then make sure you can see your big toe. Once you're set here, arms go long, gaze over that left middle finger, warrior two. Smooth, steady breath. Go ahead and drop that right hand, flip your left palm and reach up, reverse warrior. Take one more inhale, exhale, back to your warrior two arms. One more inhale. Exhale, release your arms, straighten that left leg, turn those left toes in, and then heel toe your feet back to hip width. We'll pause here for a moment, and I invite you to close your eyes. Just notice what you feel. And know that if you feel a lot, that's normal. If you don't feel very much, it's also normal. Hopefully you feel some kind of sensation. From here, grab whatever you're using as a prop if you have one. If you don't, again, it's okay. And then if you have one, go ahead and put it in front of you. And you're gonna cross your left foot in front of your right. They're not gonna be stacked perfectly. There might be a lot of space between them. That's okay. You're gonna bring your hands to your hips here. Bend your knees slightly, or if you need to, take a deep bend. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, lead with your sternum. You're gonna start to fold forward. So you want your spine parallel to the floor. If you don't have a prop, so you don't have a block or a book or a water bottle, stay right here. This is perfect. If you do have a prop, you can release your hands down to it. This is a stretch for the lower back. And then wherever you're at, hands on a prop, hands on your hips, you're gonna take a quarter turn to the right. Come back to center. And then a quarter turn to the left. One more inhale, exhale, come back to center. Bend your knees nice and deep here and slowly come back up to standing, uncross your legs. You can shake them out here. We're gonna do the other side. When you're ready, cross that right foot over the left. Again, they might be pretty far apart. Bend your knees, hands to your hips to start. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward, lead with your sternum. If you don't have a prop, stay here. If you've got one, go ahead and bring your hands down. At any time, you can add more depth to the knee bend here. It's more important that your spine stays long. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, quarter turn to the left. One more inhale, exhale, back to center. Pause for breath. Next, inhale, quarter turn to the right. Take one more inhale, exhale back to center. Bend your knees, come back up to standing. Uncross your legs, shake it out. We're gonna come down to our seats. So this is where a blanket could be helpful. Again, not necessary, but it can feel nice on the low back. Can give you a little bit extra support and height under your pelvis. And we're gonna start with our right leg long, left foot inside the right thigh. Make sure your hips are stable. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, navel toward that straight leg, and then go ahead and fold. Keep your spine long. And then hands will go wherever they go. No need to go super deep here. Smooth, steady breath. One more inhale. On your exhale, walk your hands back in. And then send your left leg out long this time. Right foot inside left thigh. Once again, make sure that your hips are nice and supported and stable. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, navel toward the straight leg. Lead with your sternum and fold. Again, hands will go wherever they go. And breathe. One more inhale here. Exhale, walk your hands back in. You're gonna lean to your right hip and you're gonna send that left leg behind you. So your foot will be somewhere near your left hip. Doesn't have to be perfect. You want your hips as stable as possible. They might be a little off kilter, that's okay. Inhale, reach your arms up, get nice and tall. Exhale, you're gonna twist to the right. So once again, like we did at the beginning, left hand to right knee, right hand next to or behind you, spine nice and tall. Take one more inhale. Exhale, come back to center. And then we're gonna bring that left leg back up front. You want your shin in front of you, and then the right leg will come behind you. Again, make sure that you're stable in your hips. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, navel twist to the left. Right hand to left knee, left hand next to or behind you. Spine stays nice and tall. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, back to center. We're gonna do one more seated posture. You're gonna bring the soles of your feet together. Knees will go out wide. Knees might be up nice and high, that's okay. Just make sure you don't have pain in your knees. If you do, you can put some kind of support under them, pillows, blocks, books, whatever you got. And then you can kind of choose your adventure here. So the further your feet are away from your body, the more the stretches the outside lines of your legs. The closer that your feet are to your body, the more it's a bit of an inner leg stretch. Whatever you choose, bring your hands to either your ankles or your toes. Inhale, lengthen your spine, get nice and tall. Exhale, you can stay here. This is awesome. If you want a bit more, you'll start to lean forward. Spine again stays nice and tall. Notice your breath here. Take one more inhale, exhale, back up to center. Hands come behind your knees. Go ahead and close them up. Feet to the mat or floor. Wrap your arms around your knees. Tuck your chin. Give yourself a hug. If it feels good, you can rock side to side. Pause in here. Notice how you feel. Notice your breath. We're going to come down to our backs. You'll want your support, so your block or your book, whatever you got. If you don't have that, we can fold a blanket up a couple times and achieve the same thing. So if you've got a blanket, just fold yourself a supportive surface. So just make sure it's flat, no lumps. Have whatever you got handy. And then go ahead and come all the way down to your back. Knees can be bent or legs can be long. And we'll pause for a couple rounds of breath here. Opportunity to feel your spine on the ground. I invite you to scan your body again. Notice what you feel, where you feel it. And then go ahead and hug your knees in toward your chest. And maybe rock side to side here. Come back to stillness. Release your feet down to the ground. And then you're going to cross that left ankle on top of your right knee. Left ankle stays flexed, so like you're standing on something. And then notice what you feel in that left hip. You can stay here if there's enough sensation there for you, or if you'd like some more, hug that right knee in toward your chest. If you take that right foot off the mat, that right foot can dangle. So choose what's best for you in this moment. And once again, let your breath be your guide. If that right foot is off the ground, go ahead and bring it back. Keep this setup with your left ankle on your right knee, and you're going to drop the whole thing over to the right. So that left foot will come outside your right leg, coming into a twist. Few more rounds of breath in your twist. One more inhale, exhale, come back up to center. Uncross that left ankle from on top of your right leg. And then you're going to send your right ankle on top of your left knee this time. Keep that right foot flexed, so like you're standing on something. And notice what you feel in that right hip. Stay here if this is enough. If your body's asking for a little bit more, hug that left knee in toward your chest. And once again, in these asymmetrical poses, so any pose where we do a right side and a left side, they could be very different. This side might ask for a little bit more sensation, might ask for a little bit less. That's normal. If that left foot is off the ground, go ahead and bring it back down. Keep this setup and send it all over to the left. So your right foot will come outside the left side of your body. Smooth, steady breath in your twist. Take one more inhale. Exhale, come back up to center. Uncross that right knee, and then hug your knees into your chest again. Feel free to rock side to side. And then make your way back to stillness. You're going to bring your feet to the ground and then walk your heels in toward your glutes. This is where you're going to grab your blanket or your block or your book, whatever you got. We're going to come into what's called a supported bridge. So it's like bridge pose, but we'll give ourselves a little extra support and feel pretty good on the low back. Your prop is going to go under the low part of your back, and you might have to adjust it a little bit. Now, if you've got a traditional yoga block, you've got a few heights to choose from. If you've got a blanket, you can probably fold it in a couple different heights. Just make sure it's flat. And then if you're on a book, you want it on the most stable side of the book. So wherever you're at, roll your shoulders under your back. You're going to feel your chest puff out here. And then you're going to press the small of your back into the mat. Lift your hips just enough to set that support underneath them. And then go ahead and release your hips down to your support. This should feel good. It should feel supportive. If it doesn't, make some adjustments. Allow your arms to just be where they're most comfortable. And I invite you to close your eyes and really enjoy this sensation. Few more rounds of breath. When you're ready, just lift your hips high enough to remove your support. Keep your hips lifted, and then one vertebra at a time, lower your spine back down to the mat. And pause in stillness when your entire spine is back on the ground. You're going to take your feet out wider than your hips. So if you're on a mat or a towel, take them out as wide as the edges. Even further is fine. Inhale here. Exhale, drop your knees over to the right. So we're going to windshield wiper our knees here. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, drop your knees over to the left. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale to the left, or right rather. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, come back up to center. Walk your feet back in hip width. And then one last time, hug your knees in toward your chest. Make any movement here that sounds good. So feel free to rock side to side, to make circles with the small of your back. And then start to make your way back to stillness. Keep your knees hugged in. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, press your forehead up toward your knees. Stretch out the back of your neck. And then go ahead and release all of your limbs down to the mat. Setting up for Shavasana, our final resting pose. Grab any props that might feel nice, so pillows, blankets, anything that will allow you to get as comfortable as possible. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Open mouth, side out. Feel the front of your body as it softens into the back of your body. And the back body as it softens into the earth. We'll do that again. Nice deep inhale through the nose. Open mouth, release. Feel your limbs grow heavy while your eyelids and your breath grow light. And allow yourself to completely drift away. When it's time to return to your body, I'll bring you back. But for now, allow yourself ease and comfort. Begin to deepen your breath. Bring movement back into your fingers and your toes. Make small circles with your wrists and your ankles. And then reach your arms overhead. Take a full body stretch. Bend your knees and gently roll to your most comfortable side and let your whole body rest. When you're ready, press yourself back up into a seated position, keeping your eyes closed. When you've arrived at your seat, bring your right hand to your heart and your left hand on top of your right. Pausing in this gesture of self-compassion to honor your efforts, to digest the effects of the practice, and to acknowledge the time that you gave to yourself. When you're ready, press your palms together in front of your heart. Thank you all for sharing your practice today. Have a wonderful day. Namaste. Thank you. Be well.